I'm not going to edit out fuck all.
Please. Have you started?
Yeah. Hello. This is Watch the Buttons. We're finally here. As you can tell, there's a different voice on the podcast. Ash is struggling with his night shift. Well, he's not struggling. It's too much for him to wake up and come over here. And last week, I sort of said that my lovely girlfriend Steph would have stepped in. Why are you putting a face? Said that she would have stepped in, and Ash said, well, we didn't do it last week, but this week, Steph is stepping in for Ash's place.
Hello?
Don't be so nervous, it's fine.
No, it's just your podcast, Reese.
I'm podcast Reese. I'm
two different people.
I'm different. So yeah, Steph is with us. It's a bit late. We've had a busy day. I got caught watching the football. If you don't already know, Brazil is now out. Lost to Croatia on penalties, so that's exciting. And yeah, what's the time? We're recording this at 7:15 in the evening. So we'll finish up here and we'll get it out to the masses. This is so weird because normally Ash sends me a list of things that we talk about. It's normally him that does it all.
But you told me earlier that you had a list.
I did, but I didn't send it. But I remember what's on it. Normally we thank the patrons. Thank you.
Thank you.
All of that type of stuff.
I'm actually already a Patreon,
Yes.
so thanks to myself.
Thanks to you.
Yeah. Pat on the back.
We have a bit of news. Unfortunately, Ash isn't here, but I'm sure he won't mind us divulging on the information. So you'll remember last episode I spoke to Ash about a proposal that I sent to him involving the Patreon. He's signed off on it now, so we're free to do it. Basically, what we're going to do is I think it's either £4 or £5. We're going to add another tier. And what we'll do is every week at the end of the podcast, we will record another half hour, 40 odd minutes, however long, dedicated to a game that we're into for that week. So, for example, DayZ, we'll throw half an hour's worth of a podcast talking about that and various different bits of that. And then we'll change the game as we go throughout the weeks and that type of shit. Where was I going with this? So yeah, that will be available next week, I think, maybe. So for £4 or £5, the people who are already paying the big bucks will have access to that straight away. And
is it automatic?
Yeah, I'd imagine so.
Yeah,
I'd fucking hope so. It should be.
Yeah.
There's people that are giving us like a tenner a month,
yeah.
so you should get Sam Parks. You should get access to this, mate. So it's sort of. It was our way to get another tier out and give you some extra content, give you some actual value for money. So it works out, what is that? An extra 2 hours a month, maybe even more of extra content for £4 or £5. I haven't quite figured out the pricing of what we'll go with yet. So yeah, look forward to that. Like I say, we'll have that out next week. But for today, me and Steph are going to talk some shit. We're sort of shooting in the dark here, but I've come up with a couple of things that we could talk about because conveniently yesterday it was the Game of the Year awards, and what I was going to do is I was going to read out the list of the things that won various different awards, and we can go off of that. Just got to find the list now, haven't I? It's very poor. Very, very, very poor. Here we go. I've got the full list.
Honestly, it doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, this is how it normally
Even
works,
remotely.
if I'm honest. We spend a lot of the podcast just sitting here flicking through.
No, what this is going to do is really reveal how much Ash actually plans
Contributes
stuff.
to this podcast.
And you're just a roll. You're one of life's go with the flowers.
Yeah.
I think.
Is it working?
What do you mean? What?
I think it's working.
Yeah.
Just fucking no plan in here. So we got Game of the Year. It was Elden Ring.
I thought you meant your life.
No.
I was like, yeah, you're 25. You're still going.
No. Just the podcast.
Rolling through life.
So, Game of the Year was Elden Ring was the winner on that one. So, a lot of people thought it was going to be God of War Ragnarok. I believe Ash thought it was going to be God of War Ragnarok.
I think he did, yeah.
Mark thought it was going to be God of War. I actually said Elden Ring.
I was hoping Stray, honestly, but
yeah,
I
was on there.
Expecting Elden Ring.
So you had A Plague Tale: Requiem, Elden Ring, God of War Ragnarok, Horizon Forbidden West, Stray, and Xenoblade Chronicles 3. And sort of when those titles were announced as nominees, everyone, including myself, went it's either Elden Ring or God of War.
Yeah.
It's going to be one of those two. And I believe we had a conversation about it before when they first announced them, and you come up with the thought process of, well, obviously Elden Ring has a much bigger audience than God of War in terms of playability, because obviously God of War is just segregated to PlayStation players. Obviously God of War Ragnarok, I know God of War is on PC. So maybe that had a hand, maybe the fact of God of War released obviously in the latter half of this year.
Yeah.
So maybe that had an impact.
When I was talking to Meg about it, she literally the first thing she said, she went, "Oh, is it the what did she call him? I don't know what she called him, like that bald man or whatever she said." But she's got it for him for Christmas. So you know he couldn't buy it if he tried, and that's someone who massively loved the first one.
Yeah.
And yet his opinion won't, his hat won't be in the ring until the new year, because he's
waiting for Chris. Because he played Elden Ring then, do you know? Or is he not?
Possibly. Couldn't tell you.
See, I think it's so difficult having played both of them, because obviously Elden Ring was my first Soulsborne game that I properly got into, because obviously I played Bloodborne, but I was just shit at it. I was so bad. So and obviously you know me, once I get annoyed at something, it very easily lose interest. And so Elden Ring was such a breakthrough game for myself. And you'll know I was fucking obsessed with the game.
Yeah.
Spent so much time on it to the point where like it was really weird. So like Ash was the person that was teaching me how to play, and then I obviously through
the students surpassed
not through Ash's fault. It's just because I have like 10 times the amount of fucking available time to put into gaming than he has. So I think I quickly took over, and just started smashing out the bosses, and I got so into it. So I found Elden Ring this amazing masterpiece of a game that I think will go down in history. You'll be talking about it in decades to come, because it was just so groundbreaking and incredible, because there were so many people that started playing that game who had never touched a Soulsborne game before. And I think the open world-esque state of that game is what sort of like shoved people into that.
Yeah, and I think it was very much, having only pretty much watched you play it, but at the same time, for context, I'm an avid lover of watching people play games, and like
it works very well in my favour.
Yeah, I feel like I've played them. Like I think because of the way growing up watching my siblings play stuff, I'm kind of like a backseat player in a hopefully not annoying way.
Because what have we got? We got Detroit Becomes Human. You sat there and watched me play that through the entire thing. We got The Last of Us Part 2, which I actually felt bad because I played like an hour of it and you weren't with me.
It was not the same.
And we weren't living together at the time, were we? So I was then was this when you were seeing me like once or twice a week?
I want to say COVID was happening.
Maybe, yeah. I then waited every single time to play it with Steph. So you got Detroit, The Last of Us, Elden Ring, God of War Ragnarok. You also sat and watched the majority of that with me.
He played it all tough and he was like, "I'm not going to wait for you," and then he did.
Yeah.
But of Elden Ring, I think that it felt like familiar, but at the same time unique and new. It was like a format that you recognise and that you enjoy, but quite innovative. And like I loved the weird like player, you could leave a message and it was like cryptic, but they could be deceiving you. I thought that was really cool. But I do agree. I think you've definitely spoken about it on an earlier podcast, but it's, I suppose, I feel like kind of, it didn't feel like it was going to be a one and done, but in a way it has been. There has been.
Elden Ring?
Yeah. You haven't gone back to it.
No.
It felt like it was going to be that kind of potentially perpetual, adding new stuff,
I think
and
there's
bringing you back, and it kind of hasn't been.
So they released an update on what's the date today? The 9th. Is it the 9th today? Yeah. So on the 7th, they released a free update.
What?
That allowed basically like Colosseums, and you could go there, and it was multiplayer, so you could go there and you could battle other players.
Didn't that already exist in a way?
Well,
no?
you had
just
it.
Run up to someone. And
you had invading, which you would invade someone's world, and you'd have to try and find them and then battle it out.
Okay.
Or you could invite someone to invade you, whereas this is sort of like
a bit more set up.
Yeah. So they did that. I think because Ash always says that obviously From Software their DLC is so incredible, because I'm not massive into From Software games, and Ash is always saying how incredible their DLCs are, and he's like, when Elden Ring when they released a DLC for Elden Ring, it's going to be fucking spectacular. For me, I think they left it far too long to start releasing stuff, because there was so much hype around that game for so fucking long, for basically the first half of the year. They should have been trying to pump something out, so it sort of fell off a bit. But I agree with you, it was that game where I think there's potential to go back to it, because there's so much shit that I'll guarantee there's still shit there that people haven't discovered yet. And all the different builds. Obviously, me, with the way that I game, I found one build that I really liked and did not stray from that build. I just made it stronger and stronger, and that was the strength build with the mimic tier. Simple as that.
Mm-hmm.
2 big massive fucking swords, and that was it, and that's how I like to play it. But yeah, it was definitely one of those games and people are still playing it and trying out different builds and doing different shit, because stuff is being added. It's just in terms of actual DLC, there's been nothing.
Yeah. Well, and so this new update, is that going to bring you back to it? Nah.
No.
But then does that at the same time? I think that we have both had so many games that it almost doesn't matter that you're never going to pick that game up again, or it's on a console you don't even own anymore, but it stays with you. I mean, Jesus, we were looking at, there was a Hit and Run. We were just reminiscing about that
Simpsons
yesterday.
Hit and Run.
And it was just someone on TikTok live playing it. And you're instantly, you're back.
But look at The Last of Us. I'm not going to go back to that.
No, but
I
then
won't
would
go
you
back.
agree that was more of a linear, that was a story with a definite conclusion? Now, it could be that I only saw parts of Elden Ring, that I don't necessarily feel that same feeling of it being over. There was no sort of walk into the sunset, I've completed my quest kind of vibe with that.
I mean, there were different endings to Elden Ring, and obviously I went to game plus 9, I think, so I did 9 playthroughs.
Jesus.
Because the first playthrough took me, what was it, like 40-something hours to do it. Yeah, I was
literally
gone.
Didn't see you.
It was literally come home, hi, kiss, see you later.
Yeah.
But obviously the second playthrough, I did it in like 4 hours, because I just beelined the bosses, because obviously you retain retain your level and all of that. So they progressively got quicker and quicker and quicker. So it was definite endings. But not to the same style of something like The Last of Us. The replayability is there in Elden Ring, whereas obviously The Last of Us is story driven, and that's it.
Am I right that you could have killed Abby, you could have let her live? No,
you couldn't have killed Abby.
No.
The ending was when you was Ellie and you were strangling her. You remember where I was sat there and I was playing as Ellie, and I was going, I put my controller down, didn't I? I was like, I don't want to hit Abby. I want to leave her alone.
Yeah.
But no, you couldn't, because it ended with them basically trying to choke each other out.
Yeah.
And then they stopped fighting.
Oh, okay.
And then Ellie, they both went, fuck this, I've had enough.
Yeah.
And then Ellie went back to her house, and
she's gone.
And her girlfriend's gone. I can't remember her name. Apologies. Because that was one of the things that a lot of people were complaining about, because they were like, you've gone through like a 40-hour campaign.
Yeah.
You've got The Last of Us Part 1 as well.
Mm-hmm.
So you've got like 80 hours worth of content, possibly even more, breaching on the 90, maybe 100 hours. And it all boiled down to, let's both walk away.
Yeah,
but I loved the ending. I was all over it because I looked at it way more deeply than that. I looked at it, I think, how it was intended to be looked at. I thought it was incredible.
Sure. Because you're forced to realise that you know that they make you see the first game from a completely different perspective.
Yeah.
Where all she sees Joel as is the bloke who killed her dad and then stole the thing that was going to help
when we
them
saw
cure.
When we saw Abby smack the shit out of Joel with that golf club, fuming.
Yeah.
Fucking fuming. But then when I see the fact that Joel shot her dad in the chest because he was trying to save the world, it put such a big spin in it. I was like, what the fuck? I didn't know that.
Yeah, and that feeling that you have, like, with Joel saving Ellie, but then you do kind of have to think that, of course, the person who is, the people who are closest to that person, to Ellie, are going to want to save her, but then, looking at it in a cold sort of science perspective, it's one life for thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, whatever. No, I thought that was very clever. Very clever. And again, making you play as Abby. When she walked back and again, terrible with names, but her, the
guy that she was fucking.
Pardon. I was gonna say the fella that she liked.
Oh, well.
But yes, and then the woman who was pregnant, and they'd like just finally become friends again, and then she finds her dead. You think, oh my god, and you see Ellie as an arsehole.
I hated Ellie towards the end. Like right at the end, I was like, this girl's a bitch. She's a fucking bitch.
But no, I thought that was because that I think took an element of sort of like bravery, which again, as we know, a lot of people have. I hate it, I don't like it, which you're entitled to. But I thought it was quite a brave thing to do.
They're not though, are they? Fuck them. Because they've got their opinion wrong. We've gone way off of topic here. We've covered The Last of Us before. People know where I stand on it. I think the gaming community as a whole got butthurt because you had to play predominantly as a female character for most of the game. I think people got annoyed by that. I think they can go fuck themselves. I thought it was an incredible game. We'll probably leave it there. Get back to Game of the Year.
Yeah.
This ties in well with the other thing in that God of War Ragnarok was review bombed before the Game of the Year awards.
Mm-hmm.
And so basically people on Metacritic were giving God of War a 0 out of 10. I'd imagine in the hopes to drag its rating down so that Elden Ring would then definitely win. Not that it has any fucking grasp because Game of the Year is voted for.
Yeah.
And I just think that's such a salty thing to do because you're tarnishing a very, very, very good game. It is top tier.
But you will get people who they don't even necessarily care. They're just doing it because they want to. I think that especially when something costs you nothing and you might be someone with X amount of like email addresses or whatever. I think you probably find on Reddit. It's little groups of people that are like, yeah, let's do it because they've got nothing better to do.
Discord mods.
Well, yeah, and it's. I mean, you get it. I know, being a music fan. I tend to, like, I remember, it was this thing with, I think, Beyonce, and there was all of a sudden you've got this row with a rock band and Beyonce fans, and it's like we're taking down the Bayhive or whatever it's called, and and it was like this massive.
The Bayhive.
Yeah.
What a fucking weird name.
I imagine it's probably Beehive, but it has a Y in it, so I think.
Beyonce.
Beyonce. And all of a sudden you've got these people who would never communicate in real life and they're tearing each other new ones over who's trying to be number one. And it almost doesn't matter what the music is. Well, it literally doesn't matter what the music is.
Yeah, I think you'll always get...
I think it's the same. It's nothing on...
whinging for the sake of fucking just trying to cause an issue there.
Yeah, for sure.
But at the end of the day, everyone knows how incredible of a game it was. The Metacritic scores are... take them with a pinch of salt.
For sure.
You know what I mean? Because there's plenty of games on there, I can't remember any off the top of my head, that have a shit rating, but are very good games.
Yep.
Last of Us Part 2.
Yeah. And again, with your true favourite things, I don't think I've ever looked at a review. I think those things...
you
find
never.
for yourself.
Never. I stopped looking at reviews a long time ago. Like, in terms of it affecting whether or not I'm going to buy the game, which is very, very ironic considering our last episode we sat here and spoke about Callisto Protocol and how the reviews had turned us off. I don't think it was necessarily the reviews that have turned it off. I think it's the fact that we don't want to pay 45 quid for a 12-hour campaign.
For sure. And I suppose it's looking at it from a technical aspect in the sense that, like, I often get, I've got a huge wish list on the Switch, and often it will come up and it will go, 8 games are in your wish list. And it was, it was something literally like a £5. And actually looking at the reviews, and the only ones that were really there were, really repetitive, same soundtrack, like just things about the actual stats, stuff of the game. I think that's worth listening for. Like you say, it's a short campaign. You think, oh, right, okay then. Yeah. If it was there for a tenner, you'd probably go for it.
You always see it on on the Steam library, because it tells you how many hours someone sunk into that game when they write a review.
Oh, okay.
So if I put a review World of Warcraft isn't on the fucking Steam library, but it'd be like fucking 10,000 hours.
Yeah.
And you'll always see it, like they'll give it a thumbs down and a really shit rating, and it'll say like 1,500 hours played, and they go, this game was shit. It's like, well, you sunk 1,500 hours into it.
Oh, I'm with you. I thought you were going to be like 45 minutes.
No, like ridiculous hours. It's like you deserve to write a review, but at the same time, it can't have been that shit because you've given up like a year to play it. So it's very. I think reviews end up sort of taking over things like Game of the Year, because people look at certain games and go, oh, well, that had shit reviews, blah, 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 and it affects more than it should do.
Yeah.
So, like I say, the rest of the list, it's not that long. We got Best Game Direction went to Elden Ring. Awarded for outstanding creative vision and innovation in game direction and design. The design in Elden Ring was fucking mental. The different hidden places and just absolutely incredible. Best Narrative, God of War Ragnarok.
Oh yeah, I can agree with that.
I think definitely. For outstanding storytelling and narrative development in a game, 100%. 100%. The story in God of War Ragnarok.
Oh, amazing.
When Brock dies, fucking hell, gut wrenching, man. You know what I mean? If a game brings you very near to tears, it's doing something right.
Oh, I was crying.
Yeah.
What made me go? I think it might have been the bit where with his wife, that really got to me, and just the things that she was saying was so just like profound. But they were doing something so simple, like with her hands on a tree. And like again, it kept you that you're like, Kratos is going to die. He's going to die.
Yeah,
like,
he's going to die. Formed a very strong relationship with pretty much
such
all of the characters there. Yeah. So you got Best Art Direction went to Elden Ring. I think all the games that were nominated, you got Elden Ring, God of War, Horizon Forbidden West, Scorn, and Stray. I thought they were all very good-looking games, especially Scorn. Of all the games there, Scorn, I thought it was very gruesome, dark, but very detailed, and the sound effects, because obviously I've only just played that.
Yeah.
I really, really liked it. Got Best Score/Music goes to Bear McCreary, God of War Ragnarok. God of War has some real decent music.
Yeah.
I won't do an impression of any of the music, but very
that's a
deep.
shame. Yeah.
Best Audio Design, God of War Ragnarok.
So I think it's
one
of those ones.
I don't play games with a headset on though, so it's very difficult to get the full.
Well, then Ash said it was very good with his breathing, didn't he? He said that his deep breaths and
you
stuff.
could hear his breaths and
it's
everything.
quite immersive.
And to be fair, I think because obviously on the PS5, I don't know if it's the same with the PS4, but definitely the PS5, there was a lot of sound coming out of the controller itself.
Yeah.
And it always caught me off guard, because I'd be walking and you can hear his axe like making noises
clinking.
off of
Wow.
And it would always catch me, because I think, what the fuck's that noise coming from? And it was actually my controller. So yeah, I can see why they've got that.
Yeah.
Best Performance, Christopher Judge. Obviously he plays Kratos.
Nice.
Fantastic voice actor. Really he deserved that 100%. No one else on the list comes close. Games for Impact, As Dusk Falls. I've heard about it, haven't looked into it, can't really say anything on it, but it's obviously one for a
congratulations.
reason. Best Ongoing Game, Final Fantasy XIV. Sorry,
Given.
Ash, but Destiny 2 did not make it. You had Apex Legends, Destiny 2, Final Fantasy 14, Fortnite. What the
Wow.
fuck was Fortnite doing on there?
Yeah, but it's so popular.
Fuck me.
It's so popular.
And
you can't take it away from it.
Genshin Impact. I know you've got a hatred.
It's just,
Genshin Impact as
if
a
you
Zelda
wanna,
lover.
Absolutely rip off Zelda, then go for it. That's fine.
Yeah, but look, Fortnite's on the fucking list. So all they do is rip off other fucking games. We've spoken about it on the pod. I hate it. Fucking hate it. Final Fantasy deserves that category as best ongoing game. Would have been interesting if World of Warcraft had made it on that list, because obviously they're both very ongoing.
Yeah.
And then you got, here we go, the big one, best indie game. It was Stray.
Well
Another
deserved.
game that we played
well
together.
Deserved. Oh,
Really, really,
that had
really
me
liked
going.
it. You had
oh my God.
Cult of the Lamb, Neon White, Sifu, Stray, and then Tunic. So obviously I played Cult of the Lamb as well. Because I've obviously voted on all these categories, and I did vote for Cult of the Lamb for
yeah,
best
but
indie
what
game.
did you vote for as game of the year?
Stray.
Yep.
Stray. Not because I thought it was game of the year, but because I nod to the developers of the people,
Yeah.
the people that made Stray. I thought you deserve that. You ain't gonna win game of the year, but you deserve.
You got your vote.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you bump the numbers
sure.
up. But definitely a toss between, for me anyway, Cult of the Lamb and Stray for best indie game. I think Cult of the Lamb was, the art style of it was absolutely fantastic, and the sadistic nature of it, and the fact you could make someone eat shit.
Yeah.
I found that incredible. Again though, once I completed that, I dropped it. Got
Yeah,
no reason to go
on-
back to it.
Honourable mention when I came in and you were like genuinely upset because the one that you'd named after our brother-in-law was getting old and you couldn't bear to look at this little old sheep version of Al
Yeah.
growing old and like dying,
Yeah.
and then you ascended him.
Oh yeah,
You
I sent him
ascended
to Valhalla, didn't I? Because I didn't want to see him die like that, so I made him ascend into a higher plane of
And
being.
his little face, his little
Yeah,
face.
that was a good game, man. I really liked that. But Stray was so good. It was so unique.
Oh,
and Mark, I think Mark has it, or he's going to get it, and he hasn't played it yet. But he's excited to play it.
Yeah.
Because he says he's really going to enjoy it. I just like the fact that they had a trophy for meowing like 100 times.
Yeah.
Press circle and you keep meowing. It was a very good game. I was a little bit dubious because I looked at the trophies first before playing it, which I very, very rarely do because
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck about trophies.
Yeah.
And seeing the one that says complete it in under 2 hours, I was like, what?
Yeah.
How are we going to do this in 2 hours? But after playing it, it's only, I did it in 6 hours and something, I
Can't
think,
even
or 8
remember.
hours and something. But yeah, very, 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 very good game for such a simple idea,
Yeah.
really.
Yeah.
And no voice acting,
I know, but
none
isn't that,
whatsoever.
I find it's kind of like with a cat or a dog, a pet in general.
You understood them.
Yeah, like you're having, like I feel like I've had conversations with my pets even though they've never said a word.
Definitely.
And
Oh, Roosty.
and have you ever spoken about Rue on here before?
I've said that. I don't know.
Yeah.
I've said that I've got a dog.
But you know how, like,
Her
I
name
do
is
you remember
Rue.
she's 5. She had a hat and scarf on this morning. But what was I going to say? Maybe I'm trying to track of thought.
No voice
That
acting.
was it. When he finds out, when he realises that he was human, the little doobly. And I remember we actually recorded it because I was like, no, he speaks when he says that.
Yeah, he
And
don't.
we went back and it wasn't. It was like, beep,
Yeah.
beep, 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 beep. But, oh my God, I
You
heard
could have swore
him.
they spoke.
Yeah.
Getting the music sheets for that woman,
Yeah,
or not even woman. It's a fucking robot. But still,
yeah,
you saw everything in that game as a person, as an actual being.
so expressive.
And yeah, you think that their face was a fucking TV screen
Yeah.
with 3 horizontal lines, and yet they made their facial expressions
Incredible.
noticeable, and it was very, very well done. They really, really deserved to win in some form of category and to win best indie game, to win your category,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
To even be nominated for game of the year alone, I think is very, very good.
And I never would have said when we watched this, was it State of Play?
Yeah,
And you were like, oh, Steph, there's a cat game. Like, you're like, I'll get it for you or whatever.
yeah, because that
And
got announced ages
a
ago,
long
and I
time.
was like, I'm
And
all over this.
Yeah, we had like no idea
Yeah.
kind of what it was going to be. Because didn't we also see the one with like the fox and her babies?
Yeah,
and that kind of was a bit more like cut and dry. But yeah, I never would have expected such an experience from what kind of seemed to be just like, oh, you're a cat and you run around.
So shout out to Blue 12 Studio for developing that game, because it's fucking incredible, and the fact that they left room for a sequel as well.
Yeah,
because
definitely.
You
it stands alone well, but you could easily
make a sequel out of it. Yeah, very, very cool. Next one, best debut indie, Stray.
Nice.
Again, Vampire Survivors is on there.
It's not the thing that you were playing, was it?
Vampire Survivors, is that the one that Ash was playing?
No, didn't you play something for a while as a vampire?
Yeah, that Vampire Survivors is the one that Ash was on about.
Oh right.
One that he was raving about, but now doesn't play anymore.
Lovely.
Because it was that incredible. Anyway, best bet. Here we go. The big one. Ash will love this, because Ash, I believe he watched all of Game of the Year. He watched it because obviously being on the night shift.
Yeah.
And I know I don't know if it's the same in his area, but on my area, they do fuck all on nights. So maybe he had loads of time. I don't know. I'm probably wrong. But Marvel Snap was the winner of Best Mobile Game of the Year. A game that I shat on, played, loved, haven't picked it up for over a week.
I feel like we really gave that the Diablo Immortal treatment.
Oh, God.
In which we're both completely obsessed with it and then put it down one day, never to be picked up again.
Diablo Immortal had so much opportunity. They really had the world in the palm of their hands.
Exciting.
And they fucked it.
Yeah.
I took Steph to Lanzarote for her birthday.
Oh.
And what was it, 3 days and 3 nights we was there? Something like that.
Yeah, 3 nights, 4 days, I think. Yeah.
3 nights, 4 days.
Oh,
and
we
spent the entire time playing Diablo Immortal.
Pretty much, yeah.
But to be fair, what more can you do? We're sitting on a fucking volcano.
There was that cool lady that one night. That was nice. She was cool. I feel like we had a connection.
Yeah.
Me and the lady.
But yeah,
do you remember? No, wait. When we were really excited, we came down to dinner, and there was a sign up for what was going to be on that night.
Yeah,
and it was bingo, and we were like, "Oh, bingo!" We'd been moaning that there was nothing to do, and how luckily we've got Diablo because there's nothing to do, and then, we saw this bingo, and then literally in the course of dinner, by the time that we'd finished eating, and we came up to the sign, and we thought, "Shall we?" And then let's go and play Diablo, and we did, and we had whatever film was on the channel,
the only English channel that we could find.
Yeah. It was like Fast and Furious or something like that.
Something like that. I think it was Fast and Furious.
Yeah. Oh,
decent.
Just Diablo to all.
And then we come off holiday and just didn't play that game again.
No, I tell you what it was. You reached I
reached max level, and then I had to start paying for
fucking
shit.
Paywall,
and I went, nah, I'm good. I can't be asked for this.
Yeah, and what it did to me, I think I was probably maybe 10 levels away, and I lost all motivation because I just knew that when I was going to get there, it was going to be shit. So, and I mean, I do have an affinity for avoiding the end of games.
Massively. Still haven't done Zelda.
I still haven't done a lot of things.
I know. Tomb Raider.
I still haven't done Black Flag, my friend. That was 2013.
It's fucking mental. It is mental. You can... Well, I do and I don't understand it. So you are notorious for not completing games when you love them so much because you don't want them to end. Ash is notorious for completing games, and if he loves them so much, getting the platinum for them as a nod to the developers.
You fall somewhere in the middle, I suppose.
I do them as quick as possible. If I really love them, I'll put all my time in them.
It's almost like not a conscious thing. I just sense that it's coming to the end, and then it just becomes something will happen, and I won't be able to play, and then it'll get further and further away. Like I never ever intended to not finish Black Flag, because at that point
you missed out, man. Black Flag's fucking sick. The Portuguese man of war that you could get. Ooh, mama.
No, I think I did have that.
It's fucking sick.
But what the thing, and again, I was about to say we spoke about it before, but obviously I've never been on here before, so that is
but we've spoken about plenty.
Yeah, no, I know, but I think I loved, and I personally believe the very underrated Assassin's Creed, which is Assassin's Creed 3.
Yeah.
And my biggest problem with Assassin's Creed 3, whilst I did finish it and absolutely love it, was the boat mechanics were horrendous.
Awful.
Absolutely shocking. I think I showed you a clip, didn't I?
They were terrible.
And when it was then, like literally, I remember, what have I been? I'm probably in college, or finishing school, and it was like, oh yeah, and the next Assassin's Creed is gonna be, you know, a captain of ships, and he's gonna be this sort of like piratey vibes and Blackbeard, and I was like, oh fuck, because it was just like, it's the only bit of Assassin's Creed 3 that I didn't like, and yeah, and I just thought, oh, here we go. But I still got the collector's edition, and he's hanging on his little flag, and I did really, really love it, and
the sea shanties.
Yeah, and I used to skip
sick.
them when I really liked. There was one that was like so emo, and I really loved it. And yeah, and I seem to remember it was like exams and shit got in the way, and I think that Christmas, or must have been the Christmas after. Knowing me, it was probably the Christmas after. I got an Xbox One for Christmas, and I'm pretty sure. I don't know that they made it compatible, because if you remember, I know you're not an Xboxer, but when that was announced, they were like, yeah, there's like no backwards compatibility, like no, you can't play fuck all, like no. And I remember, I think I asked for Dark Souls 2, and again, I'm pretty sure I couldn't play it on the Xbox One, so now I've got this brand new, you know, obviously it wasn't new, but to me, this brand new game that I can't play on my brand new console, which just sucked. And yeah, I think it was just a little bit of that. And I'm pretty sure now, even now, maybe 8 or 9 years later, that the Black Flag is still in my 360. I just haven't turned it on for all that time. But I just super intended to finish it. But it kind of birthed like an unfinished...
Yeah.
In the sense, but like...
But you're going to have to finish Zelda at some point, because obviously they've announced Tears of the Kingdom. So you'll have to... Because what is it? Zelda...
Which? What, Breath of the Wild?
Is that the one? Is that...
No, what is...
The one that you're playing?
Oh, yes, Breath of the Wild,
Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, but then...
I'm not versed in my Zelda.
I have a lot of unfinished Zelda games.
Have you completed any of them?
Yes.
Which one?
I don't say one. How dare you? Ocarina of Time.
Yeah.
Of course. I've never finished Majora's Mask because it's too hard.
Ash will be sitting here screaming.
No, he won't. He's not finished. No, this is the thing. This is where, you know what? I need Ash sat here. I don't want to sit. I want to talk to Ash, not you. Because you don't... We're not even going to get onto that Zelda episode. That's not happening. And me and Ash have spoken privately. We've spoken.
Yeah.
But, yeah, no, and I think... I wonder... It's hard because I think you don't know whether you're not playing it because of some, you know, like you say it's because I love it too much. And I do think there's elements of that. But at the same time, take the Tomb Raiders, like the Square Enix Tomb Raiders.
That really shit collector's edition that you got.
What do you mean?
The one with the torch.
Why is that shit?
What was the other thing that you got with it? You got the statue, the torch.
I can hear my breathing. It's making me conscious.
Well, stop breathing into the mic.
Sorry. No, that was amazing. I was really impressed with that.
I thought you didn't like it. I thought
that was Destiny 2. That was fucking Destiny 2, which I will never, ever forget. On my deathbed, I'll be raging about that for the end of time.
How much does that set you back?
Over 200.
Over 200 quid, and you got a bag that no one in this world can use.
One of the broadest people I've ever met, and it's too big. And then, and then my internet where I used to live was so bad that I couldn't actually even play the game. Yeah, that's a sore spot. But no, the Tomb Raider one was amazing. Oh. And it hasn't depreciated in value either.
Yeah, why do I feel like there was a Tomb Raider one that was shit?
No. But what I was going to say is the game itself. So there was Tomb Raider... Rise of the Tomb Raider and Shadow of the Tomb Raider was the third one and final, and everyone knew it was going to be the final one.
That's the one you haven't finished.
Yes. Now, Tomb Raider I thought was amazing because it was just so fresh and I just loved it. Rise I thought built on that for sure. It was amazing, easily my favourite one of the three.
Yeah.
Now Shadow, as I was playing it, it wasn't grabbing me the same way. It was just, it felt a bit. Not necessarily tired, but kind of like... Oh, sorry. Don't know why I did that. I just tipped you away for a second there. It just felt like a bit repetitive.
Yeah, but you're right at the end though as well.
Oh, I'm so no. You know what?
Like,
Twice
you're there.
now, I've had to like relearn all the controls because it's been so long since I've last played it.
But it's literally the last bit, and it's the same with Zelda Breath of the Wild. You are at the last bit.
Yeah.
Which I find is what's the crazy part of it, is that it's not even like you've stopped with 5 hours left. It's probably like half an hour's worth of gameplay, and you've gone, nope, I don't want this.
Yeah, but you have to think though. So it came out in March 17, and I played it quite a lot, but I was also going into my final year of uni, which was ridiculously, excuse me,
stressful.
Little burp there. So stressful. And I just think that it felt infinite. It felt like, I've got ages to play it. So I don't know.
Maybe you can revisit it at some point and you complete these various games.
But then take Rage. That's came into my head today.
Rage.
Oh.
What, 1 or 2?
1. I loved Rage 1.
I never played them.
I didn't even buy it. I don't know how the hell I ended up with it. I think it came with... I think I needed to buy something, or someone bought something. And they were like, do you want this? I don't want it. And it was Rage. And it's like so fucking weird. It's over 2 discs and all shit like that.
Don't do them like that anymore.
No. Oh, no. Sorry.
You keep fucking moving the mic away like that.
It's my first time. No, you know what? It's because I can't breathe out my nose. I'm so conscious breathing out the mic. I want to like...
You can pull it away a little bit. You can talk to it like that. You can breathe.
I know, but I'm just worried that you're going to play this back and it's just going to be me going...
I'm fucking doing it now. It probably will be, but there's nothing we can do.
Probably. Well, hopefully it's not that bad.
Well, there's nothing that I'm going to do.
So Rage, and I think I was so, like, as we all did, loved Skyrim. And I was so, like, when I saw it and I knew nothing about it and saw that it was Bethesda and was like, well, here we go. And it is a very similar feeling game. It kind of just felt like, and I don't know if it's going to offend anyone, I don't know how popular Rage really was.
I don't think it's that.
You know, people are going to be going, eh. It kind of felt like Skyrim had like a different skin. And, you know, like...
Well, most Bethesda games feel very, very similar. Fucking look at Outer Worlds.
Class though. Yes,
very
exactly.
Good game. Ash didn't fucking like it.
And that's the thing. Like, I loved it. It's got a little place in my heart forever. I finished it. I really, really enjoyed it. I had absolutely no interest in Rage 2 whatsoever.
Yeah.
And I just think sometimes it...
No one fucking did.
No.
No one had interest in it.
I tell you what we could... I mean... have you said about the Elden Ring board game?
Yeah, we spoke about it on the last one.
Sorry.
You're not caught up, are you?
No, I'm one behind. Apology. Yeah. Deepest apologies.
Yeah, you aren't there. Sorry. I am very, very, very sorry.
Oh no.
I've just had to fact check myself. The Outer Worlds wasn't Bethesda. It was Obsidian Entertainment. Dear. Which is why I'm so scared I am. Which is why very, very much like Bethesda, because they basically are. But I know what you mean. Most Bethesda games, they run off the same thing.
Oh, I loved it, and I couldn't even really tell you why, but it just and just so, I don't know, and I don't think I've ever, because I don't have many friends at all, but many friends who played games. It was always just me, like until pretty much I met you. I had a couple in like school, but not really. I didn't have Xbox Live, so I couldn't really play with them. I just played like a free trial, and then I did. The first thing I did was Red Dead Online, and was like immediately killed with a throwing knife.
Undead Nightmare.
Ooh. Oh, that was good. That
Banger.
Was so good. And I just think that Rage was class. I thought it was class.
I never played it, so I can't give you much.
No,
to bounce back on that one.
While I've got you on a public forum,
go on. Great, I can't wait for this one.
Well, so when it was probably, was it this year? Maybe. And Reese was like, let's play ESO together.
Oh, God.
And I said, yeah, let's go for it. And then he got me, okay, this man had me, I was paying for PS Plus. I'm not a PlayStation player. We
first started playing it on the PlayStation.
Yeah, had me playing PS Plus and ESO Plus.
Yep.
And then this motherfucker ghosted me. Bear in mind, we live in the same house. I'm the fool, really. Honestly, I'm the fool. He just left me for dust. It ended up being like
what do you mean I
like
left you?
100
What
quid.
do you mean I left you for
Because
dust? Well, I stopped playing.
You string me out. Yeah, I'll play it with you.
I'll tell you
No.
what. I'll tell you. No, go on. I'll let you finish first before I defend
Thank
myself.
you, honey.
Go on. Then.
And then finally one day I said, "Are you still paying for ESO Plus?" And he goes, "Nah, I stopped months ago." It's like, oh, so I'm 40 quid deep.
Yeah.
Not just that. I'm just 40 quid deep after he's stopped.
Yeah.
Plus $6.99 on each of those £10 a month. And then I got a computer for my birthday, and we were like, "Oh, cool! Let's reignite this ESO vibes." Now this time I was clever because I only paid $5.99, and I did not get. This boy gets ESO Plus. I did not get ESO Plus this time.
I was straight there with the ESO Plus because
for sure. And you're like, "Oh, get my craft bag," and I said no.
Because this is what happened, and you will understand,
Here we go.
and as will many people, they will understand. World of Warcraft grabbed me by the bollocks when I was prepubescent and hasn't let go. So I've been with World of Warcraft since day one. And
oh, do you remember when you were like guild master? That was intense. That was like a job.
Yeah.
You were coming home from work
saying.
and going to work.
I was in charge of a community of like 300 and something.
What was the really annoying one? Squiggle, smiggle.
Squiggle. Oh, that fucking bitch.
Honestly, I think she was the beginning of the end for you with that.
I'll tell you what the issue with that guild was, and it really shouldn't have been an issue. It should have been
brainchild.
It should have been the best thing about that guild is that it was so multicultural. I had people in that guild from fucking all over the world, and I thought that was incredible. It was fantastic. But what I very quickly realised is that people's personalities clash. And when you're from completely different countries, your views, the way you say things...
Oh, God, yeah.
I had that racist geezer that was in the guild that I had to remove very swiftly because he was... You had, obviously... A lot of people spoke completely different languages. Every single one of them spoke English. But a lot of them, English wasn't their first language, but they still spoke English fluently. So I was like, that's really cool. Like I only know English and that's it. But yeah, there was that guy that was speaking in was it Danish? I can't remember I can't remember what it was, but he was like massively racist. And then someone like messaged me and they were like, "You do know what he's saying, right?" And I was like, "Fuck!" So I had to like, but
well, and you were very much seen as just like it was all on your shoulders. You're like the fucking prime minister.
It was a fucking job. It really was. And Colin, who is like my first ever like World of Warcraft friend, and we are friends to this day. Even on the times where I've sort of had a break and stopped playing World of Warcraft, we've remained friends, and we talk to each other quite regularly. And he even said, once you become a guild master, it will go one of two ways. It will either be the best thing you ever do, or it will suck the fun out of World of Warcraft. And it did.
It was like somehow both, when it started off one way and
after that, I quit for like a year.
A while.
I just stopped.
A long while.
I went, I ain't fucking doing this anymore. I was like, I've had enough of it. But World of Warcraft as a whole is one of those games where there's been many made like it, but none that have ever been the same level. The closest you get to is Final Fantasy XIV.
Yeah.
And I always found that whenever I'd have a slight break from World of Warcraft, because over the, fucking hell, what was it, like 13 years I've been playing it, 14 years, whatever, something like that, I've had very few breaks. And whenever I would have a break, you would try and find something to fill that void.
Yes.
Which was very cool, because my guild was actually called the Call of the Void.
Yeah.
Very, very cool. And you would always try and find something. And I genuinely thought that ESO was the thing that was going to do that.
I forgot that's what we were actually talking about. Yeah,
because I played it. We started playing it on the PlayStation, and I liked it. But having come from playing an MMO on a laptop or on a PC setup, you just know that when they port something like that onto a console, it's never ever going to play the same, because you are taking a PC game onto a console, and that is such a difficult thing to do, because in terms of buttons and movement and layout and HUD and UI and things like that, on a PC you can do fucking whatever you want with it. It's like if Ash could stomach playing on the laptop, he would love DayZ on that. I can guarantee you now.
Oh, I can imagine that's better. Yeah.
Because it would be so much easier to
Yeah.
actually fucking do shit on that.
Combat for a start.
Exactly.
Oh my God.
So, obviously, I stopped playing ESO on the PlayStation.
Yes, you did.
What happened was I reached max level and started doing stuff on my own, and I'm a very impatient man, and I just didn't wait.
Oh, might have known it'd be my fault.
No, I'm not blaming
Might
you. I'm
have
just saying.
known.
I had the fear of
only
missing out.
joking.
I'm playing an MMO. I don't want to miss out on anything. And yeah, it just didn't hold me anymore. And then obviously started it on the PC and really fucking got into it. Like we really, really got into it. And I
think, you know what? It helped being in the same room as well.
Yeah.
For sure.
But I got so into it that I was like, you know what? Let's give World of Warcraft another go. It's like my gateway drug back into World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, that was it. But I felt guilty that I had resubbed to WoW. I was scared to tell you because I was like, I feel
Did
like
it feel like cheating?
Yeah, I feel like I've let you down.
Yeah. And there's me just hanging on yet again. Not monetarily this time because I learnt my lesson.
But like Ash, you've tried World of Warcraft before. You didn't like it.
No. I really tried. I really tried to love it. But you know what as well? I think having literally other than like The Sims way back when, and I had a really sick game called Otter's Adventure. Don't know, shout out to Otter's Adventure and Digby. And actually Mulan, while we're here. The Mulan video game was sick. Windows 95, I want to say.
Mm-hmm.
Class. Sorry. And yeah. What was I saying? Oh yeah. I played WoW first on the computer.
Yeah.
Really, really struggled. And I was like, ugh, is this what it's like? Like, gross. But then downloaded ESO, and it was just so much easier to
ESO is
control.
obviously a completely different gaming style because it's not.
Yeah, a better one.
No. Because World of Warcraft is obviously is buttons. It's cast bars, whereas ESO still has a cast bar, but the actual combat is what do they call it? Like Skyrim, it's what's it called? What's that combat style called? I can't remember what it's called. But you actually do stuff. You're holding a sword and your mouse is what's fucking moving that sword, and like not like slashing, but you've got a point. You've got to move towards the enemies and left click to slash.
That was the kind of the problem I have. I just felt like I was just clicking buttons.
Whereas WoW is click on the enemy and then you've got your cast bars, press fucking 1, number 7,
I really
6.
wanted to love it because I think that I'm always kind of like wanting to play games with people in the sense that like I've got games that I've always played on my own, and at the same time like ones I've really enjoyed, like when I played A Way Out with Lou, and also It Takes Two with Lou because you abandoned me on that one as well.
Mark Bannister came to that one first with A Way Out and It Takes Two, and I do not regret my decisions because we had a fantastic time playing both of them.
Dear listeners, he led me along. He downloaded it, and
downloaded what?
It Takes Two.
Oh yeah, but we
started, and then he went, "No, I'm bored. We have to play it with someone else," which was fine because you know what? I had a great time with Lou because we were discovering it together, and I do.
Yeah, but you was taking forever. My
because
patience.
you'd already played it.
My patience wore thin very quickly because you were struggling to jump on a box.
Okay.
I got annoyed with it. But you just said you had fun with Lou.
Yeah, but when you first played, when I walked in and you and Mark were playing it, and you were just jumping up and down on like a bit of poo.
No. I drew a penis on a bit of paper.
I think that's to do with probably playing it for the first time, in which it felt old hat to you. Like I wonder if now, if we swapped and I play the dude and you play the girl. It might be more fun. No.
Oh, no, we didn't. I literally
had
to play the dude again.
Yeah, and that's when you got really salty and then that was it. Which I understand.
But you still enjoyed it and that elephant scene.
Holy shit.
Yeah. That was traumatic, wasn't it?
My favourite memory of that game isn't even of when I was playing it. It's the recording when you and Mark and you die in the middle of it. Oh,
when you're shooting down the beehives and
and you do it. You finally finish and then just immediately die.
I died just before the cutscene and we both cry to laughter because you're obviously not supposed to die. That was so funny.
That was great. Honestly, like the reel out of like Mark, like you and Mark's videos, like those clips when we used to watch them like in Cold Norton and
Every
like,
time that
they just live
PlayStation
forever
goes
in my
on,
head.
yeah,
Well, no, it's gone now.
I put them all on a memory stick.
Or maybe we should crack that out.
It was one of the memory stick when we cleared out the drawer.
Oh, that one.
Memory stick.
That unlabeled memory stick that hopefully didn't go in the bin bag. That one.
Yeah. That one has
We've always got the memory.
Has like 100 hours worth of clips on it. Yeah, that one.
Yeah. Nice.
I'm building them up.
Oh, H1Z1.
The fuck were we talking about? Oh god, yeah, H1Z1.
Honestly, we're just. It's
I found my email again, didn't I? Of that, or a picture of it of the H1Z1.
Oh, when you're in the top 1%.
It was 0.1% actually.
Was it?
Yeah.
I'm gonna need independent verification on that.
Oh. Who's that? Oh, that's Colin coming online on World of Warcraft.
Good old Colin.
What was we talking about? Where did this come
don't
from?
know.
What were we doing?
Honestly, who can say? This is like how most of our conversations
We were talking
go.
about Elder Scrolls, weren't we? Elder Scrolls Online.
Oh,
It
that was
would
it
be-
because you couldn't. Don't worry.
I don't know.
No, I was going to say, I was talking about Rage and you're like, I don't know. So I said, we'll talk about something we both know.
Well, best community. We've managed to string out Game of the Year into an entire episode. No,
Nice.
It's fantastic. Best community support went to Final Fantasy 14 Online.
Can't comment, but congrats.
Final Fantasy is renowned for not being toxic. Their community
Oh, that's nice.
are extremely helpful. And if you're a new player, and I found that when I did play Final Fantasy for like
12 seconds.
Yeah, for like a week, and said, yeah, this is better than WoW, and then I realised that I actually don't think it is better than WoW.
Yeah.
The community there were very nice. They were very helpful to me, and can't fault them. Whereas something like the World of Warcraft community, most of them are dicks, but they're my dicks. I'm used to them. I know how they work.
Yeah.
We got best VR/AR.
Oh, go on. Okay.
Moss.
Who's she?
Moss Book 2.
Well done.
You remember? It's that mouse with the sword.
Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah.
Cute.
Yeah. I don't know anything
congrats.
about it.
No.
Nor am I interested. Innovation in accessibility.
Oh,
now,
here
we
we
spoke
go.
about this.
Yeah.
God of War Ragnarok was the winner for that.
Okay.
I don't think that it should have been God of War Ragnarok.
However,
The Last of Us Part 1 is on here.
okay, but then as someone who hasn't needed them, maybe
It's difficult for me
that's
to
why you
really
don't
talk
know.
about it. I always saw as The Last of Us Part 2 as the game that was incredible for accessibility. But as you very rightly pointed out, I have never, ever
other
had
than
to
like
use
subtitles, that's
any
it.
of them options.
Yeah.
So it's very rare that I ever even look at them. But I knew that The Last of Us Part 2 had very good accessibility options. So it was.
Right,
I think it just come as a shock that God of War was on there because I haven't seen
Hard to say.
anything
No.
about the accessibility options. But
yeah.
I think it's cool that that's a category in
Oh,
Game
yeah,
of
it's
the Year.
nice.
I know it has been for
So,
a
'cause
while.
I imagine a hell of a lot of work goes into making those things
It must
available.
do. It must do. Yeah, very cool.
Hmm.
But best action game again. I don't have much to speak about it. Bayonetta 3.
Yes.
I know nothing about
Big
it.
up the Nintendo.
I have no idea about Bayonetta because
She's
that
a
is
legend.
that is just a Nintendo only game, isn't it?
I believe so, yeah. And long anticipated. People have been after Bayonetta for a long time, like Bayonetta 3 for a long
I'm
time.
so removed from the world of Nintendo.
And that is a shame for you.
It's like Splatoon's a winner on
Oh,
here
yeah.
somewhere, and I was
But-
like, how the fuck has Splatoon
Yeah, but have
won
you ever
something?
played it?
No. Best action/adventure game, God of War Ragnarok.
Nice.
Very good. Best RPG, Elden Ring.
Lovely.
Typical, should have been. Best fighting game, Multiverses.
Good for
Remember
them.
that? With like all the Disney and like.
I can't say I do, actually, but well done.
Oh, okay. Best family game, Kirby and the
Yes,
Forgotten Land.
that's amazing.
Which I don't. But you got Lego Star Wars in there.
Yeah, but it's so hard when you haven't
Nintendo
played
Switch
them.
Sports.
Okay, well, yeah, but then that's...
Kirby's that little squishy bastard, isn't it?
Yeah, the pink one.
Yeah, that little fucker. Best sports racing game, Gran Turismo 7. I like my racing games, but
Gran Turismo, I think don't we have 5? Or 6?
I ain't got a fucking clue. I ain't
Yeah.
got a clue. We ain't touched it.
No. We we remember with the Christmas that we had the thing inside.
Here you go.
Go on.
Best sim/strategy game,
Go on.
Mario and Rabbids Sparks of Hope.
Oh, haven't played it.
I've never,
I know there's
no
quite
idea.
a few in the Mario and Rabbids series. I think.
not a fucking clue, but you had June Spice Wars in. June Spice Wars?
Oh, 'cause
Total
that's
War
June.
Warhammer 3, 2 Point Campus Victoria 3.
I didn't know there was a June game. That's during the book because it's all
Mm.
spice, isn't it? That was a weird film. If anyone's seen the film, can we all just reference the bit where it goes, ooh, oh, oh,
Again,
oh.
no,
Me and Lois were sat in that cinema
What's-
thinking, what the loving fuck is this? They like stood there and then this thing just starts like it's like mad music and it was good, but
this one. Best multiplayer game. For outstanding online multiplayer gameplay and design, including co-op and massively multiplayer experiences, irrespective of game genre or platform.
okay.
You have Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. These are the nominees.
Okay.
Multiverses.
Mhm.
Overwatch 2.
Ooh. Oh, that had your attention for a good like week and a half, didn't it?
It did. But again, everything was too fucking expensive on that game. It pissed me off.
Yep.
And I hated the fact that the people that I played it with, Ash and Jay, shout out to both of them,
Mm-hmm.
that they were obviously on console.
Oh,
And because
okay.
I'm on PC, because I refused to play it on console because I much preferred it on my on the PC.
Did you ever try? Oh, you did try, didn't you?
I did. I tried it on both.
Yeah.
It would fling them in a PC lobby with me,
Oh, so
and there was
not
no aim
nice.
assist for the
No.
console players.
Gross.
So I could spin like a motherfucker and have 100% accuracy. Poor Ash and Jay have fuck all, so they were getting battered.
Yeah.
So it weren't fair,
not
and
fun.
then all the skins would cost an arm and a leg. It was
I
fucking
remember you. Yeah.
pointless, ridiculous. I was very annoyed about it. Splatoon 3,
Nice.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Shredder's Revenge. Splatoon 3 won that. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 is on there as nominated for the best multiplayer game. I don't understand how Splatoon 3 has won that.
But you've never played Splatoon 3, and if I asked you to explain the concept of Splatoon, would you be able
But
to?
it's that paint game, isn't it?
But do you know what you do?
But everyone's heard of Call of Duty.
Right?
I don't understand.
But you've never played it. So
Is
how
it?
can you understand?
But Splatoon 3 is only on Nintendo as well, isn't it?
Yes.
I just find that incredible.
Well, yeah.
I really do.
I must admit, so I don't have Splatoon 3, but I have Splatoon 2. And
You
it
must
came
get
out,
it so that we can see what the hype is, because on here, 4.8 out of 5 stars, 4.9 out of 5 stars, 5.5 out of 5, like 5 out of 5 stars. You know what I mean? It's got really, really, really good fucking reviews.
Well, I will attest to Splatoon 2 being sick. I really enjoyed it, and the only reason I kind of I wasn't playing it by the time that you and I got together. Again, it's just a case of it kind of got a bit boring having no friends.
There's a Splatoon Switch.
Oh yeah. Oh, I have the
With the coloured
the pink
Joy-Cons.
and green Pro controller I have.
Yeah.
That's Splatoon themed.
Oh.
Yeah. No, I really do like it, and I do think that it's class and it's quite a unique way.
Well, that one, and well done to them.
Yes.
Blah, blah, blah. Content Creator of the Year, Ludwig. It's going to sound awful. I have no idea who that is.
Sorry to Ludwig.
I got no fucking idea. People are going to scream at me for that one. I got no fucking clue. Best esports. We're getting onto the weird ones now. All the esports shit.
Get me the most anticipated.
Most
I wanna hear you say
anticipated
it.
game. You have Final Fantasy 16, Hogwarts Legacy, Resident Evil 4, Starfield, The Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom, and it was obviously Legend of Zelda that won.
Yes.
Very cool.
Beautiful. I am so excited, even though I haven't finished.
Has that got a release date?
You know what? I want to say either next year or the year after, but honestly, I couldn't tell you. You have to Google that. But no, I am so excited, and I think, again, I know we spoke about Zelda earlier, but genuinely, I find them incredible, and I think that they get a bad rap.
12th of May 2023
Yes.
is when that's predicted to come out, and no doubt it'll be pushed back,
Oh, probably.
as they always are.
But no, I do think that they don't get, maybe they do get, they're starting to get the credit, but I think for a very long time they're written off of just being like, oh, it's just what girls play and they think that it's gaming. But I do think that, again, excuse me, I said it to Ash, like when we had that conversation about it, like it might not always necessarily land. Like I do think that there are some Zelda releases that have missed the mark.
Yeah, you're never going to be perfect when you're releasing quite.
No,
as
but
many as
I
Zelda.
think that they consistently try and break the mold.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to see what they do, because I think having like the releases that were on the 3DS I should say, some of them did kind of fall flat in my opinion as a massive Zelda fan.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, like games like Skyward Sword, which really used the Wii controller, and also Twilight Princess, which I actually recently started playing again when I briefly plugged the Wii in. Do you remember? A while ago. I was playing Twilight Princess.
What, the one where you dress that? What?
What?
Who are you?
I'm Steph.
What are you on about? I don't know what you're on about.
You become a wolf. God, you really never
What the
listen
fuck
to
are
me
you
at
on
all.
about? What?
Zelda.
Was I in the same room when you was playing this?
Yeah, and it breaks my heart a little bit that you don't remember. But anyway.
No, I don't. I
But
apologise.
no, so what I'm getting at is, like, from the trailers, it's seeming really sticking. So, again, not that I have told you before, but there's no way that you remembered. But the story isn't always the same, but it's like always kind of a similar vibe.
Yeah. I remember you telling me that.
Yeah, like you're not always in Hyrule, which is the land that is set in. You're not always there. Like in Skyward Sword, you're in Skyloft.
Great.
Yeah.
You're in the
Innovative.
loft.
And I'll be quite interested to see, like, again, I'm talking to someone who has not finished Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
But I want to know kind of what they're going to... There's a cat outside. Look at that kitty.
Oh, there's a cat.
Oh my God, I've not seen that cat before. Hello.
Who the fuck are you?
Puss, puss, puss.
Well, the door's shut, she ain't.
I know, but she doesn't like you, but she likes me.
I know, yes, very nice. Anyway,
Oh, hello.
if you continue.
Sorry. Yeah, I'm just quite intrigued as to how they're going to sort of make it a bit different, because I feel like they will. I don't think they're just going to keep that same, the same kind of powers. And I think potentially to a certain extent, but I'm excited to see how they're going to build on that.
Well, we've got half a year to wait.
I know.
And then you'll be able to grab hold of that one.
And never finish it.
And that is basically it for Game of the Year. That's it.
There you go.
Some very good winners.
Definitely.
Very successful. I enjoyed that.
Nice.
Silence.
Well, honestly, the cat really just threw off.
I didn't think we was going to be able to squeeze quite a lot out. That's decent. No, it's, I think it's predictable, but not predictable at the same time. I think there's been, like with Elden Ring and God of War, definite, like, you knew they were going to win most of the categories. But I've said it before. Like I said earlier, I really love the fact that Stray have won an indie game, and that there are games that I think it's a credit to a lot of games that win that you've never heard of. I quite like that, because you 9 times out of 10 you end up looking into those games as well. It makes you think, fucking hell, how have I never heard of this? Because I probably will look at Splatoon 3, even though I know I can't play it on anything except for the Switch. But I'll look at videos of it to figure out what the fuck, why is this so popular?
So yeah.
I know it's good. I like it.
And I'd love to know how, like, what is the payoff, in the sense that, so if you're the people who made God of War are, what's the studio?
Santa Monica Studio.
Yeah. So if you're those guys and you're looking at this release up and coming, like, what was the decision behind, if you could push that 2 months, then it wouldn't have been up against Elden Ring. But then I suppose, are you betting that something that comes out next year? Do you see what I mean? Like, you know how we were saying earlier about how, it has come out so late in the year, and the percentage of people who have played it compared to those who have played Elden Ring is going to be so much lower. I wonder why you wouldn't just push it and have it come out at the start of the year and then try and win Game of the Year 23. Or perhaps maybe they just kind of, like, weren't bothered. Or... I don't think things like Game of the Year matter as much to something like God of War and probably Elden Ring, in terms of it's got its following. It's going to be good. An True.
award doesn't mean that you don't have that game. God of War Ragnarok was always going to be incredible. There was doubts as to whether or not it would live up to expectation. I think it blew expectation out of the fucking water. I thought
agree.
It was mental. And I think you'll struggle to find anyone that disagrees with that. So I think they were just focused on getting that game to go gold and then release, and that's what they did.
Right.
Obviously, by going gold, it's ready.
Yeah.
It's good to go. So I think a studio like Santa Monica it's not going to be knocked by not getting Game of the Year, because I think it's one of those where you understand that despite Elden Ring winning Game of the Year, it's sort of like you can picture Elden Ring and God of War both shaking hands in respect to each other and going, we both know that we're the shit.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
Yeah, and I guess, as I say, there's no guarantee that you wouldn't be up against something equal next year.
Exactly. Exactly.
But then at the same time, like, it's won a lot.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah,
it's like
yeah.
you might not have, what is it, win the battle, lose the war, that kind of thing. Like they've won a lot. God of War have won a lot. Bear in mind, what has it been out, like a month?
Yeah.
No, it's impressive. It is really impressive.
And then you got the fucking collector's editions and all that shit that will come with it. It's incredible, and the stuff that that comes off of that, I think is really great. Well, like the Elden Ring board game.
Yes.
That looks fucking crazy. I'm just not paying that dough for it. The Last of Us one will have to do.
Oh god, yeah, I forgot that that's the one you actually got. Oh yeah, oh that's exciting.
Get that next year.
What made you not pick up Horizon?
Wasn't interested in it.
You never finished the first one, did you?
I never completed the first Horizon.
But there was a point where you were like so obsessed with that too.
I was proper into Horizon, and I got about 2/3 of the way through, and I have this thing where if a game is massive and open world and it isn't World of Warcraft, I lose interest in it unless it's really, really grabbed me.
I wouldn't have said that was any bigger of a map than Elden Ring though.
Yeah, but Elden Ring really grabbed hold of me, whereas Horizon, maybe the story just wasn't as good as I was hoping for it to be. I don't know. I won't ever go back to it and try and complete it. I just won't. I'm just not interested. I feel like I've missed out there, but at the same time, I'm sort of like, I can't bother, because I did really like it.
Yeah, I know. Well, I think when we met, you'd sold your copy, and then you were like, oh, actually, I wish I hadn't sold it now. And then you got the digital version and played it again for a bit.
But Horizon Forbidden West had a really, really rough release because it released alongside Elden Ring.
It's harsh, isn't it?
And it's like, yeah, you were never going to be in the spotlight when you released against a game like that.
Next to a Beyonce album.
Yeah.
You're going to attract them, they have.
It just was not going to happen.
Bless them.
Yeah. So I think I've got, before I forget.
Yeah.
A message from Ash. Where's the pod? I keep refreshing and want to listen. I'm a fan over here. I got to answer a question from Sam Parks. So he said on the Twitter, he said, did you guys manage to beat the Berserkers? And I watched a YouTube video on it, and I think it's called Gina, but it's Gna. So in my head I say Gna.
No.
Nah.
It might be no.
No. But we'll say Gina.
Good old Gina.
Obviously in God of War. You remember the one Berserker that I come across?
With the ice all around you?
Yeah. You touch the stone in the middle with the key, and then that thing come out, and I killed it, and it said 1 out of 12. And I went, 12? There's 12 of them? Well, I didn't actually... did I ask his fucking question? I didn't, did I? He just said,
did you kill the Berserker?
Did you guys manage to beat the Berserkers in Gina? No, is your answer, Sam. No, I fucking haven't. I won't lie. Dragonflight released on World of Warcraft. I just haven't touched the PlayStation. I just haven't. Exactly what I predicted. World of Warcraft has taken over. And I've done exactly what I knew would happen, whereby I've got a character to max level and have decided I want to play a different character. So all the hours that I've sunk into World of Warcraft so far have all been reset this expansion because I decided I want to play something else.
Yeah. Having played a different class for the first time in your life.
Yeah.
But I'm going to be a tank, Steph. I'm really excited.
But Mark is on the warpath for these Berserkers.
Oh, nice.
He's angry about it, and when he gets angry, he switches it off. So last Berserkers that he went against, I thought it was bad with one, but he said the ones he went against, there was three at once.
Shit.
And he said he died once and thought, no, I'm going to put my head
That's
through this telly. I'm turning it off. But inevitably on Monday when I pick him up for work, he'll probably talk to me about how he tried it again. So he will almost definitely get all them berserkers done. Gina, on the other hand, is the final Valkyrie boss from the Crucible trials. Now, when I played God of War, I only did 2 Crucible trials because I just couldn't be bothered. I couldn't be bothered because I remember from the first God of War, and at that when I in Ragnarok, I already had the gear that I wanted. I was already like sort of 2/3 of the way through, so I was sort of like, I'm not massively interested in this. There's trophies to be had there, so when or if I go and decide to platinum it, then I'll have to go back to it. But to answer your question, Sam, mate, I ain't fucking touched it. If I'm honest, World of Warcraft's taken over, but hopefully Mark will be our saviour on this one, and we'll get it done because he is 70 something% way through on the trophies. Wow. He's only got like four trophies left.
See, I think you played them very differently. As an observer of you playing both of them, again, it was one of those ones. God of War was sat on your little pile, and you were like, "Oh yeah, I got it," and nah, not fast, and then downloaded it again, then deleted it again, and then downloaded it again.
Took me about 4 tries.
Yeah, over years, like literally years.
Yeah.
And I think you played that sort of a lot more casually, and I think the ending, you came out of it loving it and bought the Leviathan axe.
Which I forgot to bring over, actually.
Oh, Hobson's probably scratched the fuck out of it.
Oh.
No, he won't have. It's fine.
No, not.
And but whereas I think this time around, like, I think that it's not that you were necessarily rushing. I think you were, like, I mean, you've spoken about it on the pod, but, you were taking your time and enjoying it, but there was a sense of urgency that I think that you didn't have with the first one.
Yeah.
Because I think, which probably comes more from just an excitement and a higher investment because you no longer needed convincing that you loved the game.
Yeah, I was all over it.
You already knew. Whereas I think that the first one, I remember you being like, "This is shit."
Yeah, I missed a trick there.
You were like, "I hate this."
Well, so Ash wanted to fucking throw me in a chipper over it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, he was so genuinely angry about it. It was the first conversation I had with him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't really like it. It was like, what the fuck? Get out of this van.
Yeah, and you are. I don't mean it in a mean way, but I think that you're quite a fickle gamer in the sense that.
Thank you.
It has.
Thank you so much.
No, I mean that you.
You're not supposed to take that. You're quite fickle.
No. I said you're a fickle gamer.
Thank you.
There is a difference. I don't mean to psyche value, but I think that it has to maintain your attention in a perfect balance. Because I think that with you, if you lose you forever. Like you've just said about Horizon. And there's so many games, or even Overwatch. You go from. You're texting me in the middle of the day going, "Oh my God, I just want to come home and play Overwatch 2 so bad. I can't concentrate." To literally the next day, you're like, "No, never again."
There has to be a goal, a reason for me playing. I have to feel some form of value and reason for why I'm playing this game.
I think you value your time quite highly, don't you?
Massively when it comes to gaming.
You don't like wasting time.
Yeah, I don't want it, which is mental because I play World of Warcraft.
Unless you're having a poo on TikTok and then you waste quite a lot of time.
A lot of time. But yeah, if especially if it's something like a story-driven game, if that shit ain't grabbing me, I ain't playing it because I can't be asked to waste the time on it. So. Yeah, I agree with that. There's been a lot of games that are absolutely incredible that I've played and just haven't finished because I just can't be bothered.
Yeah.
Metro Exodus, really good game, but it just didn't grab me. Fucking Assassin's Creed Origins.
Because that's grim, the new format of Assassin's Creed.
Fucking horrible. But people love it. Assassin's Creed Valhalla, people really like that. Didn't grab me. The Witcher.
Yeah.
Didn't grab me.
Literally, Meg, my best mate, never. So all the while I was playing Assassins, any game, whatever I was playing, all through school, not a single thing, interest. And then literally one day she played Odyssey on her brother's Xbox. Was it Odyssey? What's the other one? What's the one with the red? Yeah, it is Odyssey.
You got Odyssey and you got Origins.
No, yeah, it is Odyssey. And she went from literally just playing it because she was bored to... She absolutely grinded the living shit out of it. She now has her own Xbox. She plays it all the time. She plays it literally every day. They've got a PS5. They've got a Switch. She's a complete gamer now. And that was someone who never was. And it's just so odd to see this like living proof of someone who wasn't even remotely interested in Brotherhood, Revelations, like any of that, when I so was. And I think that you and I, bear in mind our first ever conversation was literally about Assassin's Creed. To kind of have that love just be like murdered by this absolute repetitive shite. Sorry if I'm offending any Origins lovers.
You ain't offending anyone because it was absolute god awful. It was shit.
And I'm all for like moving forward and okay, yeah, if
trying
they had
new
just repeated
things,
it, yeah, but my god.
But don't label it as Assassin's Creed anymore because it ain't. It just isn't. And because everyone was saying that the voice acting was incredible in that game. Where was this incredible voice acting that everyone's talking about?
The fact that you could move around.
I fucking hated it. An unlocked cutscene. In what world do you want an unlocked cutscene?
You'd walk away from the bloke and you'd be like, oh shit, he was talking.
I'd just disappear because you can move around in the cutscenes. It was fucking awful, man.
And the line delivery was like this, and everything was
the
so
best
monotone.
voice acting in the world.
I don't know how anyone could possibly think that this is good.
I am Egyptian. It was like this.
No, yeah, I'm Egyptian. Don't you notice I have a slight twang in my voice, denoting that I'm in fact Egyptian.
It really didn't fucking resonate with me. Fuck it. The new Assassin's Creeds, they just don't.
I think that
I don't like them.
I will vouch for you that we really fucking tried so hard to love
we
that.
We really tried, and I really like Assassin's Creed.
My guy, you downloaded Valhalla and never once have opened it.
I downloaded Valhalla and I played about 20 minutes of it, and I went, nah, this ain't for me. And I knew this isn't the type of game where I have to give it another go to see if it's
just dead.
Yeah, I looked at the size of the map, I felt the gameplay for a little bit, and I went, nah, I can't be bothered for this. Because I'm going to have to force myself to play this.
I
can be fucked.
Bear in mind, you literally have a Syndicate tattoo on your arm. Neither of us finished it. Neither of us finished Syndicate.
No.
I tried, and I really liked Unity. I tried to really like Unity, and I got to this bit, and I'm not very far in at all.
Oh, we didn't like Rogue, though, did we?
No. But Unity, and I was trying because it was a bit shit on Unity, and
massively for its bugs.
And and I literally there was this bit, and it was so fucking hard, and I shot this guy in some church thing, and scaling down, and I just got stuck, and I lost like, oh god, it was like 45 minutes of stuff, and I just thought, no, you know what, I haven't picked it up since. Literally, I was like, get fucked.
Yeah.
Because I was kind of like already mad at them, because I'm all for like I've very much been someone who, depending on the game, I don't necessarily care about getting it like super early, like especially if I haven't finished one. Like I didn't buy Syndicate for years because I hadn't finished Black Flag.
Yeah, to be fair, I didn't get Syndicate for a while. I didn't get it straight away.
Yeah, because I want to say that was 16, wasn't it?
It was a while, but I think Revelations is my number one, or Assassin's Creed 2.
Yeah,
they're my like my top tier, and
Brotherhood though.
Brotherhood was fucking sick. They were all good, and then it changed. And like you say, they changed.
So was the third one.
They changed the style of it. I think Syndicate was that last sort of.
I want to say so.
Style,
yeah.
and then it started changing, and it just I weren't interested in it.
And I'm happy for the people that love it. I really, really am.
I'm not. Fuck them.
Yeah, but then how long could you have played that same format? Really?
Well, they're fucking doing it with this new format. Oh, God.
Yeah, but aren't they bringing back something that's very similar to the old
style?
Yeah,
you got all the new Assassin's Creed. There's about fucking 13 of them that they're releasing in one single place. I will get them. Of course I will.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's...
It's sad. I do think that
it's my sad Assassin's Creed life.
Yeah.
I can't remember what sparked that at all.
I think I called you fickle. I was attacking your personality.
Yes, thank you. I proceeded to list all the games that I didn't want to play.
No.
Yeah. So I think that about sums it up, doesn't it? We'll leave this podcast on the fact that I'm fickle.
Fickle, darling. Fickle.
Oh, I can't thickle it.
Fickle.
It has to be fickle.
No, you can do.
I can thickle.
You can say
can I not
you
thickle?
like. You can say whatever you like.
Shall we quickly look at the old score?
Oh.
Argentina are winning 2-0 against Netherlands.
You got a bet on?
No, I don't. I just didn't want Argentina to win. I wanted Messi to not get that World Cup because I'm cruel like that. Ash has sent me a message again saying, shout me out. I'm the pod's biggest number one fan. Whoop whoop. What's the buttons for life?
This is a shout out to Ash. What's the buttons number one fan? Whoop whoop. What was it? The end bit.
Also,
what's the buttons for life?
Ash isn't here, and I was anticipating talking to him about this.
Sorry, substitute for his absence.
Now, I don't know if you're aware, but Ash is a big West Ham fan.
Oh, really?
He's a massive Hammers fan, right?
I used to go out with someone who loved West Ham.
Now, you may or may not have heard the song "Rice, Rice, Baby."
Oh,
right?
No.
Now, it's for a person called Declan Rice, who is in the England squad.
Are you going to play it?
No, I'm not going to play it. I'm not going to play it at all.
Why?
Right? Ash did TV interviews, and this song become massive, right, in the footballing world. Rice, Rice, Baby, right? He's got fuck all for this. He sent me a video the other day. David Beckham's now saying it to him. This
Copyright
Declan Rice is now sponsored by Muller Rice. Yeah. Sponsored by Muller Rice for Declan Rice for Rice Rice Baby.
I mean, there's a small level of inevitability there, I think.
But this motherfucker was interviewed about it. They made him.
Play it.
And no, we ain't gonna play it.
Why?
Because I can't find it.
I will find it.
But no, because it's a long song as well.
I won't play the whole thing. The public deserves a snippet of the marvellousness.
But they made this poor man stand in front of a camera crew, and
it's amazing.
And sit there singing "Rice Rice Baby" in front of a stadium. And we know how anxious Ash can get, as most fucking people with a camera pointed in their face can get. I would be exactly the same. I just think the fact that the man's received fucking nothing for it is mental. I want Declan Rice.
You need to sue these.
I want Declan Rice on this podcast, and I want him explaining himself. Maybe we get some listeners off of it.
What's Ash's Twitter handle?
I ain't got a fucking clue.
Ash, what's your Twitter handle?
You just have to leave it, and I will get him to play it on the podcast next week. But for now, it's an hour and 26 minutes in. I can't be bothered to carry on. We're going to leave it there. This has been absolutely fantastic. Thank you everyone for listening. Don't forget about the Patreon tier that's going to come out next week. Hopefully, if I don't fuck it up. Look forward to that. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh, what?
Do I get to say Uru? Do I get to say it? Am I allowed?
Yeah, probably.
Can I have an honourable Uru?
So we will leave it there. Thank you so much, everyone, for listening. Uru!